With that said, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Workman. Burl, welcome. Good to have you on, baby. There he is.
I
Thank you,
might be
buddy. Good to
here.
see
How we
you.
doing?
We're doing awesome,
Let
man.
me fix my camera. I've got to move it back to the middle of my screen.
Good.
What is up? How's the team?
Cheers from Breckenridge. We're doing good, man. I'm flying to Spain tomorrow and I'll be in Puerto Rico next week. So we're moving at the speed of sound, but I'm taking notes. I am ready to learn.
All right. Well, I've got good stuff today. So I was thinking about this. All right, everybody. So here's an ask for everyone. First of all, if you're not on video, turn your video on for me so I can see your smiling faces. And the second thing is this: when you're talking to anybody in your group and you ask them, and they're complaining about not having enough business or not how they're doing, and you ask them, well, how many A leads do you have? What does that mean? Somebody define for me what an A lead is.
To me, it means a really high quality lead, a motivated buyer ready to buy, or a motivated seller ready to list.
Ready
Okay,
to go.
Wrong, but that's
that's
what
a
it
good
means.
start.
Oh man, I failed. Go ahead. Who's
Give me
next?
another one. What's an A lead?
Ready to act. Ready to go.
Ready to go? Okay, so also a good start.
Your cheerleaders.
Your cheerleaders, that would be a referral partner, not really an A lead. But good, Joanne. I like that I've got you. I love you have referral partners. Like when someone says, how much business do you have in the pipeline? And you say, how many A leads do you have? It means something different to everybody, right? So what I want to talk about today is cleaning up the culture so that we all speak the same language. So when someone says, I have an A lead, you know exactly what it means. A B lead, you know what that means and what the follow-up is. And a C lead, what the follow-up is on that. So as I was thinking about that, I think that sometimes we take for granted things that I'm moving my screens around. So just give me 1 second here. Okay, that looks good. All right, so we take for granted that everybody knows what we mean when we say something. And so I'm going to share with you how to create accountability and how to create a culture where we all say, talk, and think the same things. You guys open for this? One of the things that high performers always have is they always have systems for everything they do 3 times. So anything you do 3 times in your business, I want you to create a system for it. Now, I've got a little bit of experience in lead conversion, like a lot of experience in lead conversion. We work with tons of teams that are high volume. I sold a company to homes.com and I was in charge of like lead generation, lead conversion, helping teams, convert. Also part of a roadshow that raised a bunch of capital for them. And it was really interesting. What I learned during that process is that people don't know what they don't know. They don't know what it means to have an A, B, or a C lead. So I'm going to give you this. And then I'm going to show you how to do lead conversion at a really high level. So I'm going to give you basics, and then I'm going to give you advanced. You guys ready for it?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to go share screen, and let's go with desktop 1. We'll see if this works for me. I'm going to move you to here. You should be seeing the green trees. And now here's what we're going to cover. All right, so I'm going to give you the A, B's, and C's of lead management. Are you ready for an A? Here's how we define an A. A stands for appointment. It's somebody who is ready to buy or sell now, and you have a scheduled appointment with them. When you say, how many A leads do you have, Brent? And someone says, I got 5. You say, great, show me your calendar. And that works whether you're doing attraction or whether you're doing converting buyers or sellers or agents. Does that make sense? So how many A leads do you have? I've got 6. People tell you, oh, I got a pipeline full of A buyers right now, or I got 15 people that are getting ready to come aboard. Okay, well, how many do you have scheduled appointments with? Well, 2. That means you have 2 A leads. Everybody else is a B lead. An A lead is someone who is ready to transact and you have a scheduled appointment. One of the things I do to help people remember this is, and this really helps in converting your buyers. When you got buyers in the car and they don't buy a house on Saturday, and you say, well, let me get you some more properties. We'll go out again next week. And they say, okay, we'll go out next week. Is that an A lead? Nope. An A lead is you want to go out at the beginning or the week or the end of the week. You want to go out Monday or Tuesday. You want to go at 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock. And they say 3 o'clock and you schedule it, a scheduled appointment. We set the appointment. It's not, I'll call you back next week. Calling you back next week is not a scheduled appointment. I promise you that anybody you have a follow-up with that you think is going to move forward, if you don't schedule the appointment, they are no longer an A lead. Schedule the appointment. We teach this, and this is why our people convert. An A lead is somebody you have an appointment with. So You're having an attraction conversation. They say, well, call me in 2 weeks. You say, great. That's the week of the 14th. You want me to call you the beginning of the week or the end of the week? They say the beginning of the week. You say, great, Monday or Tuesday. They go Tuesday, morning or afternoon. They say afternoon. You say 1 o'clock or 3. And you put it in the calendar. We schedule appointments. If you want to make sure no one ever falls through the cracks, always schedule the next appointment. That is a key to follow up and relationship building. A's have a what, Brent?
They
Appointment.
you have an appointment with them.
Right. That's what A stands for. It's I have an appointment. You're ready to buy yourself? Bam. I set the appointment. Ready for a B? A B's simple. They're not ready to go for 30 to 90 days. We're going to call them 2 times a month. And we're going to call them during the week that the 1st falls in and the weeks that the 15th falls in. So B leads are really simple. We're going to call them during the weeks of the 1st and the 15th. And here's what you say to a B lead. The goal with a B lead is to move them to what?
To A.
There you go. You give her you get a star student in the class. It's to move them to an A. So the first thing I always say when I call a B lead is, if I were calling Brent right now, I'd say, Brent, this is Verl. I'm just calling to make sure I'm not dropping the ball. I want to make sure you're getting those properties I'm shooting you over and see if there's any you wanted to get inside of. And Brent says, oh, no, you're not dropping the ball. You call me every 2 weeks. I say, I know. Oh, by the way, did you see the one that had the green door? I really thought about you when that popped up today. The green door on the front had the big 3-car garage and a big place in the backyard where you can set your hot tub. And I know that was important to you. Did you really take a look at that? Oh, you didn't? Let me shoot it over to you. I'm going to give them something of value and give them a property specific comment. So B leads are, we call them twice a week with the, hey, I just want to make sure I'm not dropping the ball. Are you getting what I'm sending you? And here's a property specific note that would apply to your family. And they go, Mom, man, I want to see that. Okay, well, I need you to get you qualified first. So before I run you out there and get you too excited, let's get you with my lender. You want to meet with them Monday or Tuesday? Morning or afternoon, 1 o'clock or 3. And you set the appointment. The way you move them from a B to an A is you set an appointment. So we call B leads how often? 2 times a month during the week that the 1st falls in and the 15th falls in. Imagine what would happen, Brent, if everybody in your worldwide organization called all their B leads twice a month during the weeks of the 1st and the 15th. Is there any chance they would sell fewer homes?
Wow, that's good. Or agent attraction, right?
No kidding.
Follow up.
Wait do you see what a C lead is? This gets brilliant.
Prospecting.
A C lead. We'll talk about prospecting is different. This is lead follow-up. These people are already.
Oh, C leads, okay.
Yep. So they're already in your system when you're prospecting.
Mercury.
When you're prospecting, you can determine if they're an A, B, or a C. A C lead, hey, they're not going to do anything for 90 days. They're not going to join for a year. They're not going to do anything for 6 months. I don't care what their number is. I respect their timing. I just put it in my calendar and I follow up. So C leads, we're going to call once a month during the week that the 8th falls in. It's always the same. The 8th always falls in the same week. Now, does anybody want to guess what you say to a C lead?
What's the matter with you? No.
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
I'm just calling to
Being
make
wrong.
sure I'm not dropping the ball.
Tammy, was that you? Good job.
Yes.
Atta girl. Yeah, you say the same thing you say to the B leads, except guess what? I promise no one's going to say to you, well, hold on, isn't that what you say to your B leads? They don't know. You just call them up. Say, I just want to make sure I'm not dropping the ball. The thing with a C lead, so B leads, you give property specific information. C leads, you give market general information. Hey, I don't know if you knew what was going on in your neighborhood, but I pulled a sheet. There's a bunch of stuff that's been selling just so you keep your eyes on top of what's going on in the marketplace. Hey, rates dropped another 0.25%. So if you know someone that wants to buy, C leads are really good for referrals because you're serving them with general information. B leads are markets are property specific, and A leads, you are the follow-up system. You have a freaking appointment. So you don't have to put them on a drip campaign. You are the drip campaign because you have an appointment Tuesday. You're dripping on them Tuesday. So A, B's, and C's, that is the key to always converting. You want to take your conversions from 1% to 4% to 8%, start following the ABCs of lead management. This is lead conversion. This is why high-performing teams close more deals. There's a reason they close more deals because they systematize the follow-up. And I'll tell you that if I were to go into your database right now, I would say that almost every agent in our organizations will tell you that they wish they don't know where to get leads. They need more Zillow Flex leads, or they got to go get Boomtown or Sync or Follow Up Boss. And I will tell you, I can find 100 grand or more in everybody's database of lost income or business that if they just followed up differently, they'd convert it. There's plenty of opportunity out there. It's just someone's doing a better job following up with your leads than you are. And so we got to change that by putting a system in place.
Hey, Verl, can I speak to this? You're saying something profound. I had a guy I did not know. He called me every month for 4 years. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I don't want this. I'm like, guys, Rob, ever gonna quit calling. 4 years later, I became open to what he had to say. I ended up buying from him, and it's a $40,000 a month investment every month. I've made now for years. He gets 40,000 a month. A friend of mine who I knew better, he would call me once a year. So Rob called me 48 times to get the sale, 48 times over 4 years, once a month for 4 years, but it's a $40,000 a month. A buddy I knew well, he only called me 45 times. He was irate. He's like, you bought from a stranger. He was actually pissed and showed it. And I said, yeah, he called me every month for 4 years. He became not a stranger. I got to know him. And he honestly, he earned the business. I go, why didn't you call me? Because I was showing you respect. I go, well, I don't know. You're not doing your job. And I ended up buying from this other guy. And there you go. So you're right. The methodical system of following up works.
It's simple. It's brilliant. And I'm going to tell you, and I don't mean any disrespect, but 90% of the people that hear this will never do it. Because the difference between average and exceptional is the exceptional do the basic fundamentals that the average know they should do, but won't. Exceptional is not being blessed with God-given talent. It's putting in the effort that other people aren't willing to put in. And so that's how we get to the next stratosphere. And then I'll give you one last thing. So, A's, we have an appointment. B's, we call during the weeks that the 1st and the 15th calls in. C's, we call during the week of the 8th. And then we work our sphere during the week of the 22nd. And so every week there's something. So as a team, we just say, hey, it's the week of the 22nd. What are we doing? We're dialing for dollars, calling your sphere. How's your family? How's your friends? What's go up with your faith, family, faith, friends, fun, and fitness. Those are the things I talk about. Or Ford, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Okay. Do we have enough time, Brent? You want me to give you advanced lead conversion?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, I will if you really want it.
I want it, baby. I want it. Bring it.
Okay. Master coach Cleve Gaddis and a high-performing team leader out of Atlanta, Georgia, developed this system, and we use it all across our coaching clients. It's called double looping. And double looping is crazy because what happens is it's basically you're double looping and you're going back, and agents, when they come into a daily huddle, now this is a whole different concept, but like high-performing teams huddle every day. They huddle every day. They role play for 30 minutes. They practice scripts and dialogues. They get on the phones and they prospect. And it happens every single day. It's a rhythm of success. There's another day once a week where we get together with the agents, and the agents have to do and bring their leads. And they do what's called double looping. Here's how it works. They show up and I call them on random. So I may call on Kevin. I say, oh, Kevin, I want you to pull up every lead that came in for the last 7 days. And I'm going to review each lead. I'm going to see who's been met with, who's moving forward, who needs attention to connect. Are they categorized correctly, A, B, or C? And what follow-up plan is in place? Are this the next thing scheduled? Do you have them planned to go the weeks of the 1st to 15th? Are you sending them auto properties? And then I go back and say, okay, so if you have all your last 7 days, you're great. I don't give any feedback. They just tell me they have it or they don't have it. That's it. Then we go 1 week back and I look at all the leads from a week and I pick one lead randomly. I go, boom, Johnson. And I bring them up and I ask, is it categorized correctly? Are they receiving calls, texts, and emails in your CRM? Do they have an upcoming to-do and no outstanding to-dos? Are they set up on an e-alert? And have they done any activity that should be followed up with? What would be an example of activity they could be?
How can I help?
Say it again. Sorry, an activity might be they looked at properties or they favorited something in their MLS search, or they reached out to a lender, or they responded to a text. Is there any activity that should be followed up with? And then I go 30 days back and I go, give me all the leads for 30 days ago, and I randomly pick one. And they better be showed, and they better be prepared and show up so they're categorized correctly, they're receiving calls, and they're set up with the alerts, and they haven't done any activity should be followed up on. When you go look at every lead from 7 days, you randomly look at 1 week back, and you randomly look at 1 month back, what happens is the agents start getting that you're going to ask. You see, if you inspect what you expect, behavior changes. But because we don't care about our people enough to follow up with them, we think accountability is punishment. It's not. It's just awareness. When people are aware that their activities are not consistent with their goals, they often will choose to make course corrections. But because we don't lead and we don't ask them, and when there's no follow up, they're not even aware of how bad they're doing. So we use this double looping to go, boom, 7 days, 1 week, 1 month. Now, all of a sudden, what's happens is the agents start going in their free time through every single lead in the database because they don't know which one you're going to call on. And so they come prepared. So all of them are ready to go. This isn't training. This is flat out how we do it. Like, this is how you show up. And the agents are trained to show up and they know. Now, the ramifications of this is if your 1 week leads aren't followed up with and your 1 month leads aren't following up with, I don't really think it makes sense for you to continue to get lead distribution because we're letting people down and that's against our core values. And so it really allows us to know whether or not our agents are doing what they need to do to convert. Okay, now I'm going to give you a couple things. I'm going to give you a copy of the double looping and how we do it. And it's all structured, how it's laid out. And if you already have signed up to be a Workman Insider, you're going to get it automatically. Otherwise, grab the QR code and get this. I'm going to challenge you to get that. Also, man, Brent, I have the coolest group of 5 performers that are coming to Salt Lake on October 2nd to the 4th for the Crazy Mastermind. And it's building a business that's so great, you'd be crazy to sell it. And we've got a few seats left. If you want to be in the, I saw a commercial the other day. Maybe it was in the movie theater. They're promoting Hamilton the movie, and the original cast of Hamilton is coming to the big screen. And there was a scene on there where I think it wasn't Hamilton. It was a guy that always wanted to be in the room and never got in the room. He says, I wish I was in the room where it happened. You know the song I'm talking about? In the room where it happened, because that's where the country was formed and everybody made deals and it was a backroom deal where something happened. This is the room you want to be in where things are going to happen. When I think about all of the things that are happening in the market right now, the pent up demand of real estate buyers and sellers that are getting ready to hit the market, and a bunch of agents are sitting in the back and they're pausing. We're having this very high level AI focused and lead funnel focused event with team leaders who are doing 20 million or more in production. So if you're at 20 million or more and you want to be in the room where it happens, come hang out with us in Salt Lake. Okay, next time we do a call, we're going to get into, I don't remember, Candace. I don't have my next slide. I
So
don't remember.
hold on, Verl. That's
Go ahead,
for
Brent.
people doing 20 million or more.
Yep.
So if they're doing 5 or 10 million, that's not really the place for them. Is that right?
If you're 10, 15 on your way to 20, then go in and apply and I'll talk to you about it. If you're doing 5, it's probably not the right room. I don't think you'd be comfortable in the room. These are people that are doing, they're about ready to make $1 million a year in commissions. And also, we've got 100 million, $150 million producers in this room that are sharing with you how they do it. Like what's working, what's not working. And they're in markets where the market's down 40% and they're up 5%. That's a 45%. They're outproducing their markets by 45%.
Beautiful.
You want to know what they're doing? They're going to be sharing what works, what
That's the
doesn't
kind
work.
of stuff I went to all the time. Wild horses couldn't have kept me away, man. If you're in production, you'd be crazy not to be in that room. Go ahead. Okay, I cut you off. You were saying something.
No, you're right. I appreciate it. No, just jump in because your insight in what creates success is you hang out with people that are doing better than you.
Bingo.
We said it $20 million thing because we just want people that are serious about the business in there.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Very
great
good.
stuff. Ask me anything, Chrissy.
Earl, where is it going to be at?
It's in Utah County. So it's at a Hyatt Place in Utah County. Is that where you
Okay.
are?
I'm in Davis County, but I'm not far. So
Yes.
Is there a website they could go to, like www. Or they have to do
Yeah,
the
Candace will
QR
put it in the chat. And then the easiest thing is that QR code, right?
There it is. It's in the chat. I see it in the chat, the QR code. Good. Yeah, this is exactly how I went on to sell 400 homes a year. This is exactly how I've done everything at EXP Agent Attraction, going to stuff like this. So clear your schedule. I went to something like this with 1 day's notice. So October 2nd is forever away. You have time, make time, go to this, meet people, grow. This is awesome. Thank you, Verl.
No, I appreciate it, Brent. One of the guys I have in the room he's a 2 comma guy. Russell Brunson was his personal mentor in building lead funnels. And a 2 comma guy means he's done $10 million funnels, like lead funnels. And he's developed AI for recruiting and attraction. That is the coolest thing I have ever seen. And he's going to be sharing all the things we're doing with AI, how we turn it into lead funnels. We're using AI now to actually answer and set appointments for people. There's cool stuff that we're going to be sharing and talking about.
Yeah. Tom Daves had let me listen to an AI thing. It completely interacted with the client. It would say this, it would respond. Said this, it would respond. Like, no. AI kept responding. He let me listen. This is AI. It sounds like a
Well, it
person.
sets.
And it booked the appointment just the way he did. What is good next week? Early next week or late, great. Thursday or Friday, great. Morning or afternoon, great. 10 or 11. Why does it sound like I could do just like Verl? Because I learned from people like Verl, and I lived it, and I've done it so many times, and I was horrible. If you're willing to be horrible, you can be great too, but you got to get muddy before you get pretty. And Verl, I'm so excited, man. I hope everyone goes to that. So
Hey, Brent, thanks for having me, man. Great to be with your group. Hope everyone's having a great fall back to school. Try not to get sick with your kids going back to school, and we'll see y'all next week.
bye, Verl. Bye, everyone. We'll see you. Thank you.